Welcome, everybody, to our first episode of Season 1 of Break Up the Daily Grind. No, I did not misspeak. So, we did 10 episodes as a trial run to test the waters to see if we could actually connect with people and to see if this was something that we were actually going to continue to do. The numbers came back with good response, better than we expected. So, we're going to make a go for it. But we still need your help. So we need you to like, follow, comment, email, and share our podcast with those that you connect with to help us improve to make things more enjoyable for not just us, but for everyone else as well. We are on Facebook, YouTube, and my favorite, Spotify at Break Up the Daily Grind. We do have an Instagram account, but I'm not fluent with that platform, so I don't know how that works. Corey, you probably be able to tell us a little bit better about it. But the username for our Instagram is BUDGcast. Our email is the letter M, the letter O, the number 9, studios@gmail.com. Your help is greatly appreciated. And if you're just joining us for the first time, my name is Ben, and my co-host across table is named Corey.
Yo, what's up?
So, Corey, we just made it through, as some people would say, the worst holiday ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we just made it through Valentine's Day. Did you do anything exciting for that?
Don't talk to me about that.
No?
No, man. I'm single as hell. I'll tell you what. Yeah, terminally single right now.
Terminally
single.
Yeah.
And that's totally on me, by the way.
Well, yeah.
No. So nothing much. I'm still on the search. I'm on the hunt.
You on the hunt?
I'm on the hunt for my person.
Yeah,
So.
well, that's good. I mean, you gotta start somewhere. As
Oh,
long as you got yourself all dialed in, you will figure it out.
Ooh, yeah. Well, yeah.
So and as everyone knows, that Valentine's Day was on Friday, and as for
I bought myself some chocolates.
Did you?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't get the chocolate in the keyboard of your computer, did you?
Oh, gross. Oh, man.
There's nothing worse than chocolate in a keyboard.
Oh, my goodness. Chocolate in the keyboard. Next thing you know, you're going to be pissing in Mountain Dew bottles and stuff. Oh.
That's just rough.
Hey, man, sometimes that bathroom's too far away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why I gave up gaming.
Oh, my gosh.
So I took Amy out to eat on Saturday, just the two of us, to her favorite place to eat, which is that El Quiro in Dundee.
Yeah.
They used just outside town. It used to be Thirsty's Bar.
Oh, okay.
I can't pronounce it for nothing.
Is it a Mexican restaurant?
Yeah, it's a Mexican restaurant.
I have to check that out.
Oh,
that sounds
dude.
good.
The best restaurant in the area.
Yeah,
when it comes to
really?
Mexican, by far, it's the best Mexican restaurant in the area. Amy and I both, hands down, that's our favorite place when it comes to Mexican. So, now before we get started with today's topic, I would like to let you know that this episode today is brought to you by
Masters of Nine. Masters of Nine is a fantasy tabletop role-playing group that has fun playing poorly and recorded for your entertainment. They are a series of bad rolls.
No pun intended. So now, with that, you will now know where our bit of bad dad jokes came from. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not. Admit it. So, okay. Number 1.
All right.
What do you call a fly without wings?
I don't know.
A walk.
God. It's awful.
Why can't a nose be 12 inches long?
Why can't a nose be 12 inches long?
Because then it would be a foot.
Oh my goodness.
What do you call a factory that makes okay products?
Wait. Would it be a Satisfactory?
You got it.
Holy cow!
Satisfactory.
Let's go. Nice.
Okay, what's the difference between a hippo and a Zippo?
I don't know.
One's really heavy, and the other one is just a little lighter. And you know, the funny
What?
part is, I tried Googling that,
Yeah.
but there was only 17,000 matches.
Wait, what? I don't.
Okay, let's try that again.
All right.
The difference between a hippo, like a hippopotamus,
Yeah.
and a
yeah.
Zippo, right?
What is a Zippo?
It's a lighter.
What?
A Zippo lighter.
I've never heard of that in my life.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
It's a Zippo. Anyway,
What the hell is a Zippo? I need a picture. You need to pull up a picture. So I don't know.
got
Like,
your phone right there.
all right.
Pull it up.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna Zippo, like Zippo.
Yeah.
Zippo. I've never seen one of those in my life.
Yes, you have.
Okay. Well, I have.
Yes, you have.
I
They're
have.
on movies all the time. I
But
don't wanna
I've
hear that
never.
shit.
I didn't know that's what they were called.
Zippo.
Oh my.
You are a deprived child.
Oh my gosh. I live under a rock.
Something. Obviously, it's dark because you don't have a Zippo lighter there for light.
Oh my gosh. Your joke was just bad.
No, it wasn't bad. It wasn't mine anyway. All right. So I do want to remind the listeners to let us know what your favorite and or best dad joke is. Please send us a message or a comment on Facebook or YouTube. And if those platforms are not your thing, you can email us at mo9studios@gmail.com. So hopefully that put the smile on everybody's face. Of course, Corey's still scratching his head over that last one.
That's dumb. Oh my god.
Well, thankfully now you can say that that's definitely out of the way.
now I feel miles more educated.
No, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel smarterer.
No. So with those out of the way, now we can get on our topic for today, which would be would you rather questions. Corey, do you have anything? Would you like to go first?
Yeah, actually.
I'm afraid now.
No, okay. I'll start off normal.
Oh, well, your normal or my normal?
let's just agree to meet in the middle.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
So this one I feel like always gets asked. At least me and my friends debate it all the time.
Well, good. That gives us something to debate about.
So it's would you rather have teleportation, the ability to teleport, or the ability to fly?
that one there's kind of a rough one because I guess it depends if teleportation actually worked. I mean, there is a little bit of fear about my atoms and molecules being scrambled,
Yeah.
vaporized, and reassembled somewhere else.
Well, it's not like you're walking into a teleporter, you know. It's like where you can just it's like
It's like
snap
a
of the-
superpower,
yeah.
like Night Stalker.
yeah,
Just
like you can just
boom,
snap
boom.
your finger and you're like over there.
I would definitely take teleport over
Yeah.
flying any day.
Yeah, I would too. But the crazy thing is, there are people that actually take flying over teleportation. I can't think of any reason why you'd take that over teleportation.
Okay, so what happens, and this has been in comic books before, if you teleport wrong, you could teleport in the middle of a wall,
Yeah,
boulder, rock, something else, right, to the
Yeah.
sun.
yeah,
So I guess there are probably people that would say, well, the teleportation, if you mess it up, that it may kill you. At least flying, at least you know you just have to worry about the crash, but you still have the chance of survival, I guess.
Well, the thing is with teleportation, I don't know how it works. You
I
know,
don't think
do you have
either
to like? How do you teleport? How do you know where exactly you're gonna land? Do you have to think about like the X and Y coordinates in your head, and you're just like, all right, take me to X. You know,
XYZ.
Yeah, XYZ, like
WXYZ.
74, 42, 83, and then
Okay.
you're there.
So
or
now,
like,
according now, I'm not super big into comic book lore, but I have dabbled a little bit, right?
I have dabbled in.
So according to, I think it's Night Stalker. Is it Night Stalker? I think it's Night Stalker. Anyway, he has to be able to see where he was going,
Yeah.
or he has to know it.
Yeah.
So he has to be able to picture it in his mind
yeah.
of where he wants to reappear at.
Okay.
So it would be the coordinate. Like, if he wanted to say he wanted to teleport from that chair to your house, he would have had to have been there, seen it, and then think about, okay, I want to be at the table. And then when he teleports, he shows up at the table.
What if you have like a picture of the place?
That is not the way his superpower works.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so,
Yeah. 'cause
fictional. I mean, you could do any set of rules you want.
That's what I'm thinking. Because I'm thinking like the type of teleportation is like you could go anywhere from
Right.
any location and just be there.
You would have to be able to know what it looks like.
Yeah.
You would have to know where everything's at, because if you don't, like even in the comic book lore, when he teleports, he has to know what's there,
yeah.
because he could easily teleport himself into a wall and split himself in half,
Yeah.
right? So, or be crushed by the molecules or whatever the science behind that is. So he would have to have known. So like if you wanted to say, you know what, I feel like going to Paris, unless you were there, you would probably not be able to go, or you'd risk the chance of teleporting yourself underground.
I feel like you take that risk anyways, even if you do know. Because like, how do you know if someone's not like walking right there, or there's not like
Right.
a car driving by right there, or
Well, I don't think you'd want to teleport in the middle of the street.
No, I'm just saying though, like what if you did visit? What if like I came and visited your house,
Right.
and I knew the layout and everything.
You just
But,
hope
like-
I didn't
but,
move
like-
the furniture around.
Like yeah, like 4 days later you move the table and I teleport to where like I thought the table wasn't, but it's there now, and now suddenly I'm part table. My
table went from 4 legs to 6 legs. What the hell?
Yeah, man.
The teleport probably, there's probably a set of rules, scientific rules that would have to go along with it. But like if you wanted to teleport, say like if you want to teleport to France
Mhm.
or Paris, you would probably try to pick a place where you know that nothing changed, like the top of the Eiffel Tower or next to it, where you
Yeah.
know there's nothing there. Because if it had changed, then yeah, you'd risk the chance of being stuck in some middle of something.
Because the really overpowered teleportation that I think about is like the best example I can think of right away is like the supernatural, like how the angels can just like appear, in that show.
I don't think they teleport is the fact that they moved faster than
Oh yeah,
human recognition.
that makes sense actually.
But well, no, I guess they did just think about it and they would just appear.
yeah,
But at that level of enlightenment, you would have probably a connection at the quantum level. And I don't know if you're familiar with quantum mechanics.
hell no,
I mean, I'm no, by no means I'm no
hell no.
scientist, but the quantum mechanics is that molecules in one area are, through the quantum level, are connected to molecules in another. So you
Yeah.
almost feel or know where everything's at. So you
Yeah.
can just go from here to, it's kind of like the wormhole
Yeah,
without the wormhole, right? The mechanics would be the same. You'd go from point A to point B right now,
yeah,
but there's no actual opening and thing that swallows you up and sucks you from one point to, there's none of that. It's just
Yeah.
boom, boom. So,
bang bang.
yep. Which is kind of mind-boggling when it comes to that kind of theoretical science. Kind of makes my head hurt.
That's why it's theoretical.
Right. Well, yeah. There are some things that we probably should not be able to understand as human beings. I can promise you that. So no, I think it would be much cooler to teleport, but it
Yeah,
would
I
have
do
to
too.
be practiced.
Plus, like, if I wanted to fly, I could fly by teleporting anyways. I'd be doing some, like, Buzz Lightyear type falling in style stuff,
I'm going to teleport 6 feet at a time.
I'm gonna teleport 13,000 feet into the air, and then I'm gonna fly. Yeah, I'm
fall
gonna
with style.
fall. Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
All right.
Um,
Way to go, Buzz, 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 Buzz. Okay. Would you rather have eyes in the back of your head or be able to taste with your fingers?
I don't like this question. I'm not tasting with my fingers. I'll
Hell
tell
to the
you
no.
that, man.
No,
Are you kidding me?
that would be nasty.
Can I
wouldn't it?
turn that off? Or is that sounds like a curse? Like, taste. Oh, I can't touch anything. You know where this phone's probably been, and I gotta taste it
Yeah, no.
with my fingers.
would
Hell
be-
no.
That would be nasty.
Absolutely not. Are you? No way.
I do like, the eyes in the back of the head would be kind of neat, but not the taste by fingers.
Moms
no.
already have those though. Old news. But I wouldn't. How would that even look? You know, like,
Well, then he could be really considered 4 eyes, wouldn't you?
well, like, I don't even think I can comprehend how you would view things.
I mean, spiders do it.
Yeah, but it's not in the back of their head. They
Yeah.
just have more eyes.
They have compound eyes. They usually have 4 to 6 eyes, and they're positioned in different spots in the head. They literally see 360 degrees.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Right?
Yeah.
The refractal, it's like looking through a kaleidoscope.
Yeah.
Right? And that it wouldn't work if you had eyes in the back. It wouldn't work quite like that. But I would have to think that it would be, you would kind of be able to choose
Mm-hmm.
like a peripheral vision.
Yeah.
And then if you see something motion-wise, that you would be able to turn your focus on that
Okay,
and
so
still
you're
be able
saying
to see.
you're saying it's like, because like, you know how you got your 2 eyes right here and you're looking straight and your nose sticks out, but your eyes, like, your mind ignores it
Yeah.
subconsciously, like it's there. You
Yeah.
know,
And
I
if
can
you
touch
think
it.
about it, if you think
Yeah,
about
if
it,
you
can
think
see
about it, you can see it. But if you don't, I think what you're describing, I bet it'd be the same way with
Yep.
like the back of your eyes, like it's like out of focus or you don't see anything. But when you start thinking about it, and it's like then you
your
can like,
concentration automatically
Yeah.
focus to those back eyes.
and then it's almost like it's a switch that
Yep.
flips, and it's like now
Yep.
you know you
It's
can't see out your front peepers right
Right.
now.
or,
And
yeah, something like that.
something. Yeah.
That would be weird.
All I'm saying is I'm not tasting nothing.
No.
You know what my job is? You know how many disgusting, filthy pieces of technology I have to open
Oh,
up?
yeah.
You know that
He would have
some
a
kid-
serious copper taste to it, I'm sure.
disgusting. Some kid shoved jelly or earwax into one of the charging ports of the laptop.
Ew.
Ooh, disgusting. Can you imagine accidentally like brushing that with your finger,
I would
or all
have
the disgusting gross crumbs that are like
Latex gloves would be a necessity for
oh
life.
my gosh, dude.
That would be nasty.
I would be the ultimate germaphobe.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely not. That
No.
sounds like hell.
All right. that was so.
Oh man, this one's kind of morbid.
Oh boy.
But this is another one that gets thrown around a lot. Would you? So this one is 3.
Three.
I got 3.
3 choices.
3 choices.
Okay.
Would you rather die by drowning? Would you rather die by burning alive? Or would you rather die by suffocation?
So, die from drowning and die from suffocation would be almost the same thing.
The sensation's different, though.
It's slightly different, but the body reaction would be the same.
It's
One thing you do not ever want to do is die by fire, because every nerve in your entire body would be screaming for in pain.
You don't die right away either when you're on fire.
No, you don't. Die by suffocation would be a lot less painless. So would be drowning, if my mind is working the right way. If I had to choose, it'd be one of those two over fire. There's no way I wouldn't wish death by fire upon anybody.
There was a story I saw about this guy. I think it was in Manhattan, they were doing some work on the sewer lines, and I forgot what. I think they had a manhole cover open,
Right.
but it was like corded off so that you people would know not to go near it and stuff. I forget what was happening. They were doing something down there, but this like really drunk guy was causing issues and being a nuisance and everything. And so he, like, as drunk guys do, didn't have the best stability and balance, was getting confrontational with people, shoving people,
Right.
and like bumping into people and stuff. So someone shoved him into the street, and so he got up and lost his balance and everything, and he fell into the manhole cover. What was down in the manhole was water,
Okay.
but it was boiling water.
Oh, that'd be just as bad as burning by fire or dying by fire.
The thing is that it doesn't kill you, not right away,
No.
but what it does is it pretty much essentially destroys all of your nerves. Every nerve it overloads your senses and your
Right.
nerves, and literally like they implode pretty much. Your nerves do. And so that was happening. He fell in, his entire body was covered in this boiling water. And so this just extreme pain, and then suddenly you couldn't feel anything.
Right.
But they didn't get him out in time. Obviously,
No.
he died and stuff. But like, if they got him out in time, and he did, he'd never be able to like feel anything
No. 'Cause
again, like ever.
everything- Yeah, every sensory in his body would have been cooked.
Yeah,
And which I'm sure fire is probably about the same way.
yeah. But
But-
fire,
But
fire.
that whole point between feeling all the pain in all your sensors, all your nerves
Mhm.
imploding, that time between those two, no.
Yep.
I don't do well with pain. No, thank you.
Nope. I wouldn't want to do drowning though.
No. Now, question: would the suffocation be by, the lack of oxygen, or something like having your face wrapped in plastic?
No, it wouldn't be like, you wouldn't be like choked out or like anything like. Think about getting like just teleported to the moon and just not having breathable air.
Okay, it'd be
You know.
because there would, carbon monoxide poisoning would be an example of suffocation.
Yeah.
Right.
No, the type I'm
it's
talking about is just imagine if you
lack
just
of
you had
everything.
no oxygen to breathe whatsoever.
If I had to, I would probably go suffocation.
Hmm.
Because you'd have a little more. I think you'd be able to regulate the way you freak out a little bit better than drowning,
Yeah.
and far better by fire.
I like the suffocation better because I feel like drowning's scary because it's like it's pitch black too. You're surrounded by this like
But
liquid.
You don't have to be, because light will go down to the water for quite some ways before it fades out.
Yeah, but I'm not opening my eye. If I open my eyes underwater, I'm not seeing anything anyways.
I think you freak out fast enough. I think you'll open your eyes.
Yeah. Well,
You'll see.
I don't want to be
No.
down there in the pitch black. That
No.
sounds terrifying.
It is, I'm sure.
I would choose suffocation probably.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you could make that as like more comfortable
Okay.
than, I don't know. Drowning just seems so uncomfortable.
Oh.
I know it's it's essentially the same thing because your lack of air,
Right.
but something about drowning is just more uncomfortable.
Well, I've never tried to check it out, so I couldn't say, but I don't think I want to do any of them anyway.
I mean, I know from experience. I've
Yeah,
drowned like
whatever.
6 times,
You're
and
full of it.
and
You're as much as a fish as the next carp. Okay. All right. Would you rather? I'll tell you what. Well, I'm going to get off the morbid stuff here for you for a minute.
oh, don't worry, I'll bring it back.
Oh, great. So, would you rather buy 10 things you don't need every time you go shopping, or always forget the one thing that you needed when you went to the store? I told you I didn't do all that morbid stuff.
Oh man, I'm always doing that anyways. Forgetting the one thing. And it's so funny too because I'll pull right back up into the driveway. I'll walk in, and then
Gosh.
then it clicks. Then it clicks.
So would you rather it be that way, or come back, have what you needed, but you also have 9 other things, or
Like
10 other things that you didn't need?
what does didn't need entail? You know,
Right.
because I feel like you can find a use for just about anything. You know, or is it like because I don't like mayonnaise. You know what I mean? Do I have to does it have to be something I'm essentially just never gonna use ever? So I have to like buy mayonnaise because it's
No,
disgusting.
Just because you don't need it doesn't mean it's something you'll never use. I mean, you might. I mean, you might come home with a taquito maker or something. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So
But,
essentially,
like, when I go shopping, I go grocery shopping. I'll go in for, I don't know, going for lunch meat,
yeah,
and I'll come out with dip and crackers and chips and
yeah,
soup and stuff that I don't need. But
Mhm,
I figured while I was there, I was going to pick it up anyway.
yeah, that's for sure.
So
for sure.
that would be my definition. Would be, it's not the things that you don't need, just stuff that you wanted to pick up.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I see what you mean. So essentially, I become a hoarder.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, no. I hate because that's also extra money that you're spending, too. And
But if you forget what you need, you're gonna have to spend the money to go back to the store to get it.
yeah, but I feel like that's cheaper than constantly spending money on 10 things, you know? Because if we're going really into detail, I could spend the money like $1 on like 10-cent items, you know?
Versus spending
It's
$4 for a tank of fuel to go back.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's the case every time because I feel like there's going to be a lot of times where the 10 things could vary, and one of those
Right.
10 things could be like $12, and the other could be like 15, and then another could be like $3. You know?
I would rather get the 10 things I didn't need
Yeah,
that trip. Yeah.
I feel like you'd get the 10 things anyways.
I go in for one, but
Yeah.
I come out with 10.
Yeah.
So why not? But this stuff that I was going to use, I just didn't need it. Right?
Yeah, that's fair.
So I would much rather do that than have to go back and make a special trip.
I hate second trips. I
Yeah.
hate making second trips. But I also hate buying things I don't need, too. I hate spending money that I don't need to spend. Ugh. I think I'd take the curse of forgetting.
Yeah.
Because I already do that anyways. So, oh
Okay.
man. Would you rather I just had it. It's such a good one. It's such a good one too.
Yeah.
There's one specific one that I'm thinking of. Oh, okay. I heard someone say this. Would you rather go to prison for 3 years and walk out with $3 million? So 1 million for every year you're in prison. Or no, sorry, let me take that back. Would you rather go to prison, but for every year you're in prison you get $1 million once you leave? Or would you rather take the chance of getting not having to go to prison, but potentially inheriting $10 million, but the chance of you inheriting it is 5%?
I would take the inheritance.
Yeah.
Homie won't do well in prison.
Yeah. So I don't think I could. I don't
no.
think I could do prison.
I mean, I guess if I had to, I guess I would probably survive because I would try to survive. But if I had the choice, I would take the chance
Yeah.
of inheriting the $10 million versus going to prison
Mhm.
because I would lose so much time that year. Every time you're in there, you would lose an entire year. That's
Yeah.
a birthday from all of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Time away from my special friends. That sounded bad. Away from my friends, away from my family,
Mm-hmm.
away from the things that are the most important to me.
Yeah.
Money's not that important.
No.
I would take the chance for sure.
But think about it this way: compared to like what you currently make right now, that would be almost like 6 or 7 years worth, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm just kind of ballparking.
Oh, it would be like almost a lifetime. But
yeah.
that's not
So think about that too. If you went to prison for say like 1 or 2 years, you would lose 2 years. But would you really lose 2 years? Because if you got that amount of money and used it properly, when you got out, you potentially wouldn't have to go back to work at that point. And so you would get all that time that you would have been working you'd get it back.
Okay. I've been off work for 4 months due to surgery.
Yeah.
I would still take the chance of inheriting the $10 million because 4 months of not going to work, I was going mentally nuts.
Yes.
Being locked up for an entire year? No. Nope.
I say that because there are, like, obviously it depends on what prison you go to. They do have programs where you can study and get, like, you wouldn't really need to study, but they have things you can do to, like, pass the time.
Yeah, you could do outreach programs.
Yeah,
pick
outreach
up trash
programs,
on the road.
trash. You could get, like, a job inside of there and stuff. They got, like, some prisons even have groups that you can join and stuff.
They have construction crews with the prison that's close to here.
Yeah.
They send inmates out to do house repairs.
Okay. Yeah. So, like, it's not like you're going to be in solitary confinement for your entire 2 years. Now, that would be brutal. Solitary for 2 years?
Yeah.
Like that? Yeah, there's no way.
And friends and family could come visit.
They could come visit.
Even if you didn't.
2 years to get like $2 million and then not have to go to work, and then you get all that time back from work. I feel like it's like taking a really shitty job that you hate,
right?
And that's awful, but because it gives you, like, you get like 40% more money.
Okay, now question for clarity.
Yeah.
Would there be a permanent record of you going to prison?
No, in this scenario, it would be just like
like a year's vacation.
It's almost like a reality show type thing where it's like if you can survive 2 years in prison, they give you a fake crime that you did and a fake identity and everything. And your goal is just to make it the 2 year stretch or however many years you want. And every year that you're in there, you get $1 million.
Well, as long as there was no record of
yeah.
Like have to come out with felonies on your record or nothing like that. I might have to reconsider my position, being the fact that it was light security prison, and you did have outreach programs that you could be into. I might consider it.
Yeah.
Because
that's a lot of money, and you kind of like with the not having to go back to work potentially when you get out, you could like make up the time,
Well, I can tell you $2 million is not gonna.
No.
I mean, it would definitely make quite a stretch.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would last.
But that's why that's why
you
would go more years if you wanted to potentially. Obviously, I think that's different depending on people's circumstances. Like if you have like a newborn kid and you don't want to miss out like on their growth and development and everything like that, then there's some things to think about.
Yeah,
for sure.
All you kids of mine, you're all grown, so
yeah, pretty much.
There's just a few that can't drive yet, but y'all can drive and visit and shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I can say, bye, have fun.
I get to go back to vacation.
As long
or
as
getting shanked.
As long as I'm not dropping the soap, we're okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah, oh, no.
I did forget to mention that it's a 5% chance. And so every year that lapses is like that 5% chance fires. So it's like 2023 passes and it goes to 2024. There's a 5% chance that next day you'll wake up or that money will be in your bank account.
So it never increases. It just stays.
No, it stays 5%. You just get one chance every year for it to happen.
No, I think I would have to change my stance. I think I would have to go to the prison.
Yeah.
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 I mean, you get 3 meals a day.
Yeah.
You don't get much TV, but I don't watch TV. So.
Yeah. And maybe it give you an excuse to work out and stuff too.
No, that
get ripped.
Maybe I could get. Maybe they have broadcasting school or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to broadcasting.
I mean, I've heard of prisoners go into law school while they're in prison.
Oh yeah,
to like fight their own case against like.
Yeah,
I think that was like a thing that happened.
Oh yeah, there was more than one. I'm sure that did that. Okay, would you rather stay young physically or stay young mentally? Let's say 16 years old.
16 years old. So my mind would be 16
all the time.
Oh.
Or your body would be 16 all the time.
Oh my gosh, if you would have said something like 25 or 24, I would have went with the mind. I do not want to deal with my mind at 16 years. There's no way.
I didn't even want to deal with your mind at 16.
Yeah, exactly. You see? You understand. Okay.
Yeah.
On the other side, dementia, that's terrifying.
It is.
And the potential that could be avoided by keeping like my mind young, that stuff too. That in and of itself might also be worth it. Just because I've seen what dementia can do. It's scary.
It is scary.
It's one of my biggest fears.
Well,
getting older.
You should have put that in the moment.
I was thinking, yeah.
We were talking about fears.
Dementia scares me. The potential that I could get dementia terrifies me. I don't think it's something that's really prevalent in my family specifically. I can't think of any relatives of mine that have dementia, but just even the chance that it's something that could potentially happen is something I think about.
Yeah.
And it's so rare right now, but the youngest case of dementia was like 24 years old.
Oh, okay.
It's super rare at this age. So rare that it's only one documented case,
right,
from what I remember. And yeah, I don't want that to happen. So that might be just enough to warrant me going for that. But I can't, thinking back to myself as 16, I can't stand how I was sufferable, man. Mentally. Yeah. I was so arrogant and like cocky and thought I had everything figured out, you know?
Someone told you don't know shit, bro.
No, man. Well, I started having to actually do shit myself. Right. You know what I mean?
You realize that it's not all cookies and cream,
it's not. You know? And just going through life by myself for the last 3 years taught me a lot.
Yeah.
And so I just oh my gosh, I can't even. The best word that comes to mind when I think about myself from 16 to, let's say 22, 21, 22, cringe.
Right.
So cringy. But I mean, I guess who isn't
right
really at those ages? Because you're still trying to you're still developing and trying to figure stuff out.
Your brain doesn't even fully develop till you're in your mid-20s anyway. So
because the thing is, you don't really know until you get to that age how terrible and cringy and immature you are.
Right.
You know, until you're past that point and you look back and you're like,
that was terrible.
Man, come on.
I never wanted to hit myself so bad in life.
I guess it wouldn't be so bad because if I did take the 16, the mind at 16, then I guess I wouldn't have that self-aware experience that I have now because I would have never made it. So I could be oblivious and ignorant to the fact without even thinking about it. So I guess it wouldn't really matter. But I don't know. It's one of those things. It's a conscious decision where it would be I'm 25 and I know that's what I'd be going back to if I made that choice. Do I really want to do that to myself and the people that would be associating with me at that point? I don't know, man. Can you imagine I mean, it happens. It's a thing. It's real. But can you imagine a 50 or a 55-year-old acting like how I did when I was 16 to 20? At 21,
you do realize I work with a bunch
I know
of
that's why I said what I said previously, you know,
I would definitely take the physical. I would much rather have a 16-year-old body than a 16-year-old mind.
I think so too.
By far.
Yeah.
I'm at my point now where my body is just about trash.
Yeah.
You know, I just went through one surgery.
Yeah.
Right? I have to go through another one again here sometime this year to do the other side.
Yeah.
And to be able to get up and do the things to jump out of bed and run up and down the stairs and lift and carry stuff that I could do at 16.
Yeah.
I would take the physical age of 16 every time.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care anything about the mental part of it. I wouldn't even worry about it. It would be all the physical part for sure.
Yeah, I think I'd take the physical side too, even though the potential for illnesses, mental illnesses to plague you, Alzheimer's and dementia and things like that, and like just having a slower mind. But that's not really going to happen until like way later.
Well, here's the thing, though. Yeah, most of your deaths have to do with the body failing,
Mhm.
not the mind.
Yeah.
So, to throw a little side bit of information in there, if your body stayed physically 16 forever, would you be immortal? Because your body is usually what kills you first, not your mind. In most cases, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a few there that the mind goes, but
I mean, immortal in the sense that like you don't age, because like
Yeah.
you could still be killed.
you
You
know,
know.
yeah, but like, yeah, that's my thing is that you would be, you wouldn't be pervious to death. You
Yeah.
would just not die of natural causes.
Oh, okay. I think so. I feel like that qualifies if your body's not aging and stuff. And does your mind count then too? Would your mind still age then?
But physically would be the actual organs,
Yeah.
right? Your mental health would age differently, but physically your brain would work just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Any chemical imbalances wouldn't be there because your brain wouldn't get, the organ itself would not wear out,
Mm-hmm.
right? It would just stay just as sharp. So as long as you didn't, damage it, concussion or run your head into a wall and crack your skull open or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
there would be potentially very little chance of brain damage to ever begin with.
That's fair.
So you technically could live forever.
But if your like organs and body and like all that and everything isn't aging, doesn't that mean that your mind would also still be stuck at like 16?
No, because your mind works on
Because if you have like a 16-year-old body and stuff, your brain's still developing. But if you're stuck in that 16, like at that like 16 physically and stuff, does that mean your brain still develops?
That's a good question. That's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
It's almost like a trick question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Because you're right. Because if your brain doesn't develop, you would still be stuck at 16 anyway.
So you just be a 16-year-old your entire life. That sucks ass. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a little crazy for sure.
Man, any partner that you'd find would be a pedophile.
Oh, we could move it to 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
So you take the physical part and you'd be 18 for the rest of your life. I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Next. You got another one?
Yeah, I got another one.
Okay.
Oh shit, I had another one. Would you okay. This one's like a really simple one. Would you rather only be able to eat your favorite meal for the rest of your life, or would you rather never be able to have your favorite meal again but be able to still eat anything else that you want?
I feel like that also could be considered a trick question because the more you eat something, the more you have a tendency to like it.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, something will eventually become your favorite. It will not be the one you have. It'll be a new one, so then you won't be able to eat that one either.
Yeah, maybe it changes then. Then you get access to your old favorite meal again.
Yeah, so I would definitely take not having the ability to eat my favorite one, because then I could eat everything else, and then at some point in time something else would become my favorite, and then I would forget about the one that I had, so then I could eat it again.
Man, it's crazy how the body changes like that. I used to hate Dr. Pepper as a kid, but now I love Dr. Pepper.
Oh, that's about the only one I can drink.
Really?
Yeah.
You always liked Dr. Pepper?
No, I used to hate it.
Really?
Yep.
Like as a kid?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because
Caleb said the same thing. He's like, I hated Dr. Pepper as a kid, but I love it as an adult. And Andrew said the same thing.
Right.
Too. They're like, yeah, I despise Dr. Pepper, but as an adult, it's so good.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, man.
I like it. Yeah. I have a problem with I used to like Coke. I was raised on Pepsi,
Yeah.
right? There's too much sugar in it. It tastes too sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I went to Coke. The coloring in Coke tears my stomach up.
Yeah.
Something fierce.
Really?
Just painful, cringing, bend over, everything coming out the bottom half. Just terrible pain for the Coke. So I can't drink the Coke. And the Pepsi is too sweet.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes my stomach upset too, but Dr. Pepper does not do either. So I like it.
Dr. Pepper's the way to go.
Yep.
Then
It cures my ailments. That's why they call it Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
Who needs to go to the doctor's office when you got Dr. Pepper himself
Right.
healing your ailments? Apple a day? No, get that shit out of here. Dr. Pepper a day.
It still makes me go to the doctor, so it doesn't work that way either. All right, let's get into something a little more trickier here.
All right.
Would you rather see prisons abolished or health care made free first? So one of them's going to happen. Which one would you rather see happen first?
Well, if they're both gonna happen, why does it matter which one happens first?
I'm just reading the question the way it's written.
Oh,
Okay, let's change the question.
yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't really seem like there's any like point if if they're both gonna happen
Right.
regardless.
Would you rather see prisons abolished or health care made free?
This is a wild question.
I guess there would be a need for more information.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
does prisons being abolished, does that mean that there's no more crime? Or that just means the crime still happens, there's just no place to put the criminals? Because
Yeah.
that makes a huge difference in how things are teetering, right?
Yeah,
Because if there's no more crime, then health care is obviously free anyway because the doctors won't be ripping you off.
Well, I mean, I feel like prisons being abolished has like good and bad outcomes. Like obviously the prisons are holding really terrible people.
Right.
Like there are some really terrible people that are in prison right now that should not ever be allowed to walk free
True.
whatsoever.
True.
But on the other side of it, prisons are also holding plenty of innocent people who have been wrongly convicted of crimes. Prisons are also holding plenty of people who have been falsely convicted of crimes that potentially corrupt police officers have planted on them. There's a lot of different ways you can look at it. The prison system is also very corrupt too.
I believe that part.
And so I feel like I don't know enough about the prison system to really say anything
I don't know
without sounding super misinformed or like
Right.
I have no idea because I genuinely don't know. I have like a toe dip worth of information
Right.
in that field, that area.
I would
Yeah.
have to say that prisons are probably have a lot of corrupt to them.
Do you think they're doing more harm than good though?
All right, here's what my theory of this is,
Yeah.
and it doesn't apply to everybody in the prison system.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say I'm going to take a conservative. I'm going to say 50%.
Yeah.
Right? So if 50% of the people that committing crimes have some sort of mental issue,
Mm-hmm.
not major, not like schizophrenic or some, just little tiny things that may have let them do bad things.
Yeah, like a trigger almost.
Or for the simple fact, some people in there because they're highly aggressive.
Yeah.
Are they aggressive because they cannot deal with the stresses that are in their lives?
Yeah.
Right? Mental health, if it was free, I feel would reduce the amount of crime dramatically.
Well, I do too, because I feel like at least in America,
Right.
prison is way more about punishing rather than rehabilitating. And let me get this straight. Right here is there are some people that deserve what they're getting.
Oh, for
lifetime in
For sure.
prison,
Yep.
the death penalty. You
Yep.
know, if you're touching and sexually assaulting children, you should be shot.
Right.
I don't care. I think you should be shot.
Right.
There's,
That stuff all leads to mental health.
yes.
Right.
So, and let me also clarify. If you're someone who thinks about, let's say, like are romantically attracted to like children, sexually attracted to children, but you you've controlled it and it's something that like plagues you and stuff, and you haven't done anything wrong, you haven't like harmed anybody, you haven't acted on these impulses or anything, do you think they have a right to, go get mental health and fix this illness? Because I feel like that's a mental illness.
I would have a tendency to agree with you.
Yeah.
Some people say, "Well, that's a chemical imbalance. They were born that way." I don't know enough about it to say they're right,
Mm-hmm.
but logically, I think I would have to disagree. Right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people that have a tendency for pedophilia and stuff like that, usually, and I'm kind of theorizing here because
Yeah.
I don't know any of the specific stats, but I would
Yeah.
have to guess that the people that are in that, most of them have either been molested or something to that in their past.
Yeah.
There's a reason why.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that everyone is, because not every person fits into the same guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that the majority of them do, right? So therefore, it becomes a mental health issue.
Yeah. Well, because I agree. Because I think if you can get to the root of the problem that's like causing it, I think at the end of the day, it's all mental barriers
Right.
and things that you need to work through mentally.
Right.
It's all impulses that need to be controlled. If you think about like a serial killer who just gets off on killing people,
Right.
or like people who are diagnosed like sociopaths and psychopaths, that's like a diagnosed mental issue.
Right.
Like I think if you haven't acted and haven't actually caused harm, I think you deserve the right to at least be able to get help before you do cause real problems.
I don't.
I think it's the same thing too, though, where it's like to a point where it's like I don't think you should be really allowed to function on your own or without like safeguards.
I also believe that even if they had acted on it with the right care,
Mm-hmm.
I believe that they could. Let me rephrase that. I believe they have the ability
Mm-hmm.
to work through their issues and make things, not necessarily make things right what they did,
Yeah.
but make sure that they learn and understand that that's not acceptable, and to be able to stop the behavior that they're doing. Should they still be punished for the crimes that they had? Almost definitely.
Yeah.
But if the health care was free, they could seek the help that they need.
Mm-hmm.
So after they serve their punishment, if they're still alive, depending on what it is, they have the opportunity to go back into society the way they should have been the whole time.
So does like psychology and like therapy, does that fall under healthcare?
Yes, it
Then
would.
okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Um
I mean, when I was seeing a psychiatrist, it was covered underneath my health care.
okay. Yeah.
So I mean, yours too.
yeah.
So it
Yeah.
all falls underneath that health care establishment,
Yeah.
because it is. It's all for me and my insurance policy. It's all covered at the same.
Mm-hmm. Because I genuinely think no matter who you are, you can benefit from therapy.
Everybody can benefit from therapy.
Yeah.
I mean, however minuscule it is or however major it is, it's always a bonus for sure.
Mm-hmm.
If I've even thought about, I don't really feel like I need it right now, but I even thought about going back myself.
Oh, I plan on going back.
Yep. I've been a few times there for a while. I went for like a year and a half. I had some issues I had to work through, and I worked through just fine, and I feel like I'm a far better person for it.
Mm-hmm.
But even therapy is the spot where you can talk. With a good therapist, you're going to talk to the therapist like you're talking to yourself.
It's important that your therapist meshes well
Yes.
with you too. So there's definitely like you should really test the waters with a few different therapists, I feel like, before you actually settle on one. Because for most people, I don't feel like the first therapist is going to be the right therapist. I mean, it's possible, but it's probably better to make sure by testing with a few others and talking to a few others just to see if like you bounce off another better than you would originally.
I had gone to, well, there's a difference between therapists and counselors, right?
Yeah.
There's a big difference. And I went to a couple counselors, and I thought I was doing good with them. And I had gone to an actual therapist, a psychiatrist,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a dude, and he did all right. He kind of got me in a general direction. But the problem with that one is I don't think I went with an open mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I did just as much harm to myself if he was trying to do good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's not just the therapist, it's also the patient going.
Yeah.
So by the third or fourth time that I went, I was in a mental spot where I was open-minded and I needed to find clarity in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And the therapist that I went to just happened to be I thought she was pretty good.
Yeah.
And she let me figure out what I needed to figure out on my own, right?
Mm-hmm.
By just talking to me and giving me subtle hints and suggestions, but she let me work through my problems. So that made a huge difference in the way my therapy went. And I made huge progressions by going to that. So I think you're partly right, but it also, yourself has to be in a spot where you're accepting of the information you're getting.
It's not gonna, therapy won't help you if you don't want to be there.
Right.
You have to be there.
For
and
sure.
So my next question is like back on the prisoner thing. Do you think there are people that can't be helped?
It's not the fact they can't be helped, it's they don't want to be helped.
Yeah. And what if they never want to be helped, you know? Then are they just a lost cause at that point, you know?
I don't like usually saying that about people, but for the most part, then they have to suffer I don't want to say they're a lost cause. I'll say they have to suffer the consequence of their choice.
They haven't quite got to that moment in life where it's like changed their mind, you know?
Right.
I feel like there's a point in life where you just you hit a spot and you're like, all right, well, something's got to
something's got to give.
Yeah. And so for some people, even going to prison their entire life isn't enough to there'll always be the guy who killed somebody and is in prison for life, and they're like, well, it wasn't my fault, you know.
He deserved it.
He deserved it. I didn't do it, you know. That type
I'd do it again.
And yeah, exactly. What do you do with someone at that point when it's like when even the rest of your life spending like behind bars essentially doesn't wake you up and be like, oh, well, shit, I need to
rethink this.
Yeah, I need. What do you do with that?
I mean, you can consider it a lost cause, but
yeah,
I would just
that's what I would be worried about with abolishing prisons and stuff, is those type of people right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we just use those people as colonists for another planet.
Colonists for another planet. We do like an Australia situation, send them to a prison colony.
Yep. And they say, okay, here you go. You got the whole planet. This is what you guys need to do. You guys need to be able to survive, build stuff, go.
And you know what? Do what you
got a whole planet.
I mean, Australia survived. They succeeded.
Right.
You know, they sent prisoners over to Australia, and Australia's thriving, I think.
Well, because you might have the ones that are really bad. They're probably gonna get killed in the process anyway. So, you know, that eliminates that gene pool. So as long as you have more not so bad ones, they will root out the bad ones, and then your hands are clean. Like, I don't know.
So my next question is, because I also I don't know a lot about this topic, is because the other one is free healthcare. Yeah, that one's kind of a hot topic lately with what was it, like one of the healthcare CEOs getting shot?
Yeah, he got shot.
Yeah.
I heard about it third hand, so I don't know all the details, but part of that issue, a lot of them people are driven by money.
Yeah.
Right? So if you completely take out money from everything, right? You eliminate the greed.
Yeah.
Healthcare is free. There's no cover. There's no money having to do changing hands.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, I have a cough. You go in. Doc says, okay, this is what you got. There you go. See you later. You're fixed, right?
Yeah.
Those type of situations won't ever happen
Yeah.
because the people will get the care that they need.
Mm-hmm.
The people giving the care get the satisfaction knowing that they help somebody,
Yeah.
right? Now there's a whole lot of logistics. If you want to try to break that down, it would take days at recording to cover all those type of things. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
I don't remember where I was going with that. I don't remember where I was going with that.
You were saying something about like it could take days to dissect and get in.
Oh, because you're talking about the CEOs getting shot.
Yeah.
They were making choices, right? I mean, I don't necessarily know that particular thing. I know there was a whole conspiracy based around that shooting.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody didn't get covered or something. There was a conspiracy there of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
But if healthcare was completely free,
yeah,
you wouldn't have those conspiracies.
Mm-hmm.
Right? CEOs and those head honchos that were up there making those decisions would be making decisions based on what the patient needs instead of what their pocketbook wants.
Yeah, how much
right?
money that decision will net them.
Right.
Yeah.
So see, there's the difference, because once you take that factor out of that, healthcare not only improves,
mm-hmm.
but it soars.
Yeah.
Because a lot of your big pharma will do things that are not necessarily in the best interest of their patients because they're looking for top dollar.
So what's the point of healthcare then? Like where like when you're giving your money to pay for health insurance and healthcare, what, like, I know it's going into the pockets of the people who own it and everything, but where's that money actually supposed to go? It's because that's supposed to be, I'm assuming, like developing healthcare and research and stuff so that we can, better prepare and like treat people, and we can kind of stay like ahead of the competition with when it comes to like our medical technology in the United States. I'm assuming that's part of where it's supposed to go. Obviously I feel like another part is supposed to be like paying the doctors, because so like if the healthcare gets taken away, which is like, that's not free healthcare, is something that I support too. I'm just kind of trying to look at it from an objective point of view, where it's like, where would like the income for doctors and research come from then at that point? Because
the question doesn't say that doctors don't get paid.
Yeah.
Right? Unfortunately, everyone has to make money in order to survive.
Yeah.
What this question is insinuating is that the patients don't have to pay for anything. Right?
Yeah.
So basically what you could say is that, okay, your doctors make a base salary,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't cost the patient anything.
Oh, okay.
Right? There's a whole set of logistics that would go into where would that money come from.
So kind of like how like public schools get like a certain amount of funds from the government.
And even public schools, they squander and put money where it doesn't belong. Anyway, everyone does. And unfortunately, just like the healthcare system, the students and the kids that are being taught in those schools end up paying the price for mismanaged funds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's always going to happen unless you go to the point where you eliminate the greed part altogether.
Mm-hmm.
If you could eliminate money in the entire world, I think that you would see a society that exponentially would explode. Right?
Yeah, but how do you get people to do things if there's no, like,
incentive because of money?
Yeah, because of money, because
that's
like
part of the reason why we still have money.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I would love to be at that. I know we're way off topic, but I would love to be able to see a world that did not rely on financial greed,
mm-hmm.
finances, period. You know, that would be amazing.
So you're saying you'd be able to like walk into a store and be like, I like this table. I'm going to take this table.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, for society purposes, and even logically, it doesn't necessarily make sense to be able to work that way. But it would be amazing to be, you know, like, you know, I need a new shirt. No, I like that shirt. I need a new shirt. And you just take it. Or, you know what? I need a set of wheels. You know, and of course, then, you know, you get to the point that all products would probably be made exactly the same. So if you needed a set of wheels, they would probably, every car would be exactly the same.
Yeah.
But you'd be like, okay, I need a car. And you would get it because you needed it, not because you wanted it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when it gets to that point where you're like talking like everything looks the same and stuff, that almost sounds dystopian.
Right. It does.
You know, because I feel like
the uniqueness of us.
Yeah,
for sure.
part of I guess like one of the good things about finances is the ability to like have the freedom to do what you want. I feel like it, like you said, like there'd be no point to do creative or have competition or like, you know, for things to improve because there'd be no competition to, you know, go against. If everything's the same and everyone's buying the same products and everything, it's essentially like a monopoly. So in that way, wouldn't it just stagnate progress because we wouldn't need to progress because there was no competition to like fight against to force progression?
I don't think so. I would like to think not, because uniqueness would still be there in the products that people make. They're just, the financial return wouldn't be there. We're pretty much out of time for today. So I think what we'll do is we'll just carry this on to the next one. And with that, I think, I know. With that, Corey and I would like to thank all of you that stayed to the end of today's discussion.
Yeah.
We hope that you enjoy the topic. And I hope we put a little thought, made your brain work a little bit today.
Mine hurts.
Yeah, mine does too, kind of. So, but even though it does hurt a little bit, we hope that you will join us next week for actually more of this conversation. I think we're going to go ahead and try to pick up where we left off today and see where this rabbit hole goes. I think that's a good way to start out season 1.
Me too.
With a rabbit hole.
Rabbit hole.
You're bringing carrots, by the way. Remember to like us and follow us at Break Up the Daily Grind on Facebook and YouTube and even on Spotify. We would love to see 5 stars on Spotify. It helps us know where we're going and where we want to go. And it helps you guys let us know where you would like us to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So please, please, please leave us a comment on any one of those platforms. We would love to hear from you. We would love to hear, like I said, we would love to hear about your favorite dad jokes, either the ones that we had or the ones that you might have. We also would like to know your favorite thought of the week, or if you have one, there's a very high probability that we would put it on the show. So we would love to hear from you. And with that, we will leave you with this thought of the week.
Yes. Every day is a new beginning. Take a deep breath, smile, and start again. Unknown.
Yep.
It was me. I wrote it.
Yeah, full of it. And with that, we will see you next time.
Later, skaters.
Bye.